What topic are we starting? We are starting trigonometry. And then you'll have a test in week 3. I've already spoken to the 2 kids that are finishing off their quadratics thing. They'll do it at lunchtimes, so face-to-face. So what we need to practice is conventions, acceptable conventions. If I ask you to do something in alphabetical order, do you know what that means? Do you know what you would do? Okay? If I said that you had to do something in numerical order, you would know what to do. There's some conventions in trigonometry that you just have to do. So one of them, the reason why we need to do that is because in trigonometry, we examine the relationship between sides and angles in triangles. In year 10, we only need to look at right-angled triangles. If you're doing 10A with me, we look at non-right-angled triangles, but for straight year 10, we're only doing right-angled triangles. So there's some labeling rules you must follow in trigonometry. So this is where I believe your notes should start. Trigonometry rules. Unknown angles are usually labeled as theta. Does anyone remember from last year what theta looked like? What the symbol theta? Oval with a line through it. So in trigonometry, in maths, if you have an angle that you don't know the size of, the go-to is theta degrees, okay? With an unknown in maths, we usually call it x. But because we're going to have unknown sides and angles, if it's an unknown angle, call it theta. If it's an unknown side, call it x. The second rule is in a right-angled triangle, there's 3 sides that are labelled in relation to the angle of interest, which was theta. So opposite, shortened to op, is the side opposite or across from the angle theta. Adjacent, or ADJ, is the side next to the angle theta. Hypotenuse, HYP, is the side opposite the right angle. It's also the longest side. Can I give you some time? Can you get that box down? You could use some cheat sheet space to put that in, but I think your level of ability, you shouldn't waste cheat sheet space on remembering the label of 3 sides, especially when you're going to practice these things. Just get that box down and we'll example. Let's do an example. So literally you're getting marks for labeling 3 things, okay? That's kind of different from factorize, right? So label the following triangles, sides with opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. Please remember, these labels depend on where theta is. That's why, can you see 2 triangles? Are they the same, basically the same looking triangles? What's the difference? Is the theta placed in a different, so these labels are going to be different in both. Let's look at the left one, A. If theta is in the bottom left corner, which side is opposite that? The one on the right, the one on the top, the one on the bottom? The one on the right. This one is op. Adjacent. Which side is next to theta? There are 2 sides next to theta, but we use process of elimination because the hypotenuse is the longest side. The hypotenuse is also the side that's opposite the right angle. So that's the hypotenuse, leaving this to be the adjacent. Okay? B, someone else? B, theta is in the top right now. What would the opposite side for B be? The bottom. Which side is the hypotenuse? Same as before. And obviously the last one left, that's adjacent. Okay? Can you get those 2 examples down? That seems simple, but if you stuff that up, you can't actually do the next thing, which is using SOHCAHTOA. Have you heard of SOHCAHTOA before? What I'll try to do is actually explain to you what SOHCAHTOA is. So just get that down. I'll give you a heads up on what exercises you're going to do. But right now, I'm going to teach the second lesson on trig ratios. And then I'll give you time to work on these two. And then after, when lesson 2 starts, then I'll teach how to find side lengths. Okay? So don't worry about getting exercises yet. Just get these examples down for 12A. I'll teach 12B. Then you'll have time to do both. Anyone else still getting that? 2 triangles with 3 labels written next to it. No? I'll stop the recording now.